Hey you guys, Crafty Josephine here. So today I'm going to share with you how to make hats for these cute little marshmallow mugs. Mine aren't the actual 180-degree ones. I just got mine off Amazon and I think there's some sort of a knockoff, but I'm okay with that. Anyways, I don't know why I'm so late to this marshmallow mug party, but I really am. I know people have had them for a really long time, but I'm just getting there. And I know it's because I saw the video by the Pink Hutch, which I will link down below, for how to make these cute little marshmallows that fit on a straw, and I really wanted to make those. And then once I made these, I wanted my own mugs, and yeah, I went a little crazy. But anyways, so today what I wanted to do was show you how to make hats for them out of mostly Dollar Tree materials. I found these leg warmers at the Dollar Tree, and I'll put the numbers down below. And these are just trouser socks that I thought really looked like a knitted hat, but they're not. It's just textured that way. So I liked those. And then I found this pom-pom, which was just part of a keychain. I don't know if they have other pom-poms there, but I thought that would be kind of cute maybe is on this hat. And then I just have my own fur, which was not from Dollar Tree. It was probably Joann's or Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure. But I just wanted to use it up because I have a lot of stuff, a lot of crafts, and I need to get rid of them. So hopefully you will excuse that. But if you wanted to go out and buy your own fur from the craft store, you could. Or you could just get it at the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. I'm going to do a sewing method and a no-sew method. Here we go. Okay, so I've taken the leg warmers and the trouser socks out of their packaging, and if you know me, you know that I make gnomes, and you've probably seen sock gnomes before. So normally what people do with those is just cut them in half, and then obviously you would normally have a heel. You don't have those on leg warmers, so you can just cut this straight in half and you don't even have to worry about avoiding the heel. And then these trouser socks don't even really seem to have a noticeable heel, so we don't have to really avoid the heel on these either. So I'm just going to cut these all in half. And so really you'll get 4 hats out of each of these. So if you have 4 mugs, you now have 4 hats, or of course they'd all be the same then, so maybe you can give some to a friend. Alright, so now that I have them cut, I'm going to start with this one that has the trouser top of the sock on it. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of open that up. And if you've seen other videos where they made hats for either gnomes or for the marshmallow mugs, you know, they just kind of gather them together. And then you can just use a small rubber band to just close up that top part there. And honestly, you could probably even use hot glue to keep that together if you wanted to. I would probably just burn my fingers. And I'm going to try to move that relatively close to the top because the pom-pom will cover most of this, but I don't want to have to make it cover a ton. So I'm just going to try to move it close to the edge here without it coming undone. Let's see. Maybe a little closer. If you're not a sewer, you might want to just stick around and watch the part where I sew, because I promise you, even if you do not sew, that I won't be doing anything so tricky that you couldn't try it. Alright, I'm going to call that good. And then, so this keychain has all the chains on it. So I'm just gonna see if I can, yep, I pulled it right off there, and there's like, almost like, looks like a hair rubber band right there. So I'm gonna, you could cut that out if you wanted to, but I'm gonna leave it, and that's what I'll kind of attach my glue to. And then I'm gonna attach this right here. There's really almost kind of like a little hole in the pom-pom right there. I would even say you could try to shove this in the hole, but I feel like that hole is too small. So we're gonna stick with the hot glue. So my glue gun is just out of reach of the film, unfortunately. But I'm just adding a dab of glue. And then I'm gonna shove that on there. So you can just ever so barely see the rubber band in there. If you wanted, you could glue down just a little bit of that fur just to cover it so you don't see it at all. I'm going to think about it. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do or if I just want to leave it because you can barely see it. But let's bring the mug over for a second. What I want to do is do like a little flap there at the edge of the hat. So there's that. And then what you could do, if you want it to be fluffier, also, before I get to that, you could glue this too if you didn't want it to move, if you wanted to stay right in place. I think I'm okay with that being like that and not glued down, but obviously you could just put a few dabs of hot glue on the inside to keep it there. However, what I might do here, now, I might be cheating because I'm using fiberfill, which I'm not sure if they have at Dollar Tree or not. Someone comment below and let me know if they do. But I just have this on hand from the craft store. And I'm just going to try putting a little bit of that in there. Just to make the hat a little bit fluffier. I don't even know if I like that better. I'll have to see. I think I might have liked it better before. What if I just have it in the point? Experimenting here. No, I think I like it better without. Alright, well now I know. Maybe you like yours filled, maybe you don't. That'll be a decision you'll have to make. Yeah, I think I kind of just like it floppy like that. I think that's pretty cute. So what I want to show you real quick is that, so when you cut these socks in half, you have the edge with that nice flap there, but then you have this edge that doesn't have that anymore. So you would just, you know, rubber band your top the same, and then I would use glue on this one to give yourself that flap, and whereas with the other one you only had to turn it over once to get that cute little hat cuff, this one you have that edge where you cut and it's just not as pretty, so I would go ahead and fold it twice so you can get rid of that rough edge where it was cut. Can you tell it's slipping? Alright, that's better. And then I'm going to put it back on the mug. And then this one I would glue just because it's got, you know, 2 folds. And I think that one's more of a pain to try to redo if you needed to. So I'm going to add just a few dots of glue to this one. There you go. And then, like I said, you know, just put your pom-pom on again. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the gnome where I'm going to do a little bit of hand sewing to gather the top of the hat this time. And I know you can gather with your sewing machine, but I'm just going to do it by hand. So for those of you who are new to sewing, all I did was I threaded my needle, and basically my thread is doubled up. And to tie my knot, I'm just going to wrap it around my finger, like that, one time, and then you just kind of roll it off your finger, and you pull down, and it makes a nice big messy knot, which is all you need. And if it doesn't work the first time, just keep trying. There you go. Okay, so like I said, gathering is not very hard. All you have to do is stick your needle in, and I'm going down about 1/4 inch from the top. And I want my knot to be on the inside so you won't see it. Normally I would try to match my thread to the color that I'm working with, but I wanted you guys to be able to see it, and hopefully you can. I know it's still very, very small. But I have this gray thread and this pink sweater, which is just made out of leg warmer. Here, let me zoom in some more. Hopefully we can capture that. I think that's a little bit better. And so to gather, all you do really is just up and down, up and down. And just every few stitches or so you can pull it through like that. And I'm making kind of bigger stitches. Up and down, up and down. And you're just going all the way around the leg warmer. See that? So really nothing very tricky. Let me pull that up. See that? I'm almost to the end, or the beginning, however you like to look at it. I can see my knot right there, and then all you have to do is pull, and see how it gathers your thread, basically, or excuse me, gathers your sweater or your hat, just like our other one did with the rubber band, but now it's held by thread. And then once you pull it as tight as you can, being careful, you don't want to pull so tight that you break your thread, but just tight enough that you get it gathered. Then you'll just make yourself a knot as close as you can. Right there. And the holes on this are kind of big, so I feel like it would be very easy for this knot to get pulled through. So I'm going to try to make my knot extra big by doing it twice there. So I just don't want it to end up getting pulled through the sweater and my gathering coming undone. Okay. Alright, now time to make the pom-pom, which I'm basically going to do the same thing that I just did with the gathering. So if you guys have watched any of my other videos, you know when I cut the fur for the gnome beards, that I always say use a razor blade. And this actually was a beard. You can see that used to be beard shaped, but I'm going to use it for a pom-pom. And really the only difference is that for a pom-pom you want a circle. So I'm just going to, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to get gathered anyways, so you won't notice any of those slight imperfections. And my blade is dull, so I really need to change it because it's probably becoming a bit of a health hazard at this point. Just make sure you always cut away from your fingers. Here we go. So close enough to a circle. The bigger you make your circle, the bigger your pom-pom will be. Let's see, this one is about nearly 4 inches circumference, maybe closer to 3.5. And we'll find out in a minute how big it's going to be. Let me get some more thread and we'll get started on this. Alright, so again, I just doubled up my thread. And I'm going to roll it around my finger and pull to get that knot. You can see that. There you go. And I'm going to do basically the same thing that I did when I gathered the hat there. I want my knot to be hidden on the inside of my pom-pom. Instead of going up and down and looking at it through this fur, which would be super hard, I'm just going to go up and down like this. So I'm always looking at this side. This time I did match my thread because I figured you guys can just watch the one I did a minute ago if you want to see how the gathering is done. But it's just up and down, going all the way around, pulling it through from time to time when your needle gets too full. Just going around in a circle, and I'm staying about 1/4 inch from the edge. You could probably even get a little closer to the edge if you wanted to. Okay, now the only difference with this one, with making a pom-pom instead of the top of the hat, is this time you want to stuff it so it'll be a nice round pom-pom. So I'm just going to get my fiber fill and put that in there. And I'm going to start to pull it closed just because I want to get an idea of how much fill I need, really. I don't think it needs very much. I think that's going to be enough for me. So I just put a little bit in there. And again, you want to try to get your knot as close as you can to the fabric. And I'll knot it twice. Alright. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hand sew this. I still have it hanging. I could cut it and start again, but I kind of figure, why bother? Might as well just keep going. And I'm going to alternate between catching my needle on the pom-pom and catching it on the top of the hat. And once you've gotten them both you can just go ahead and knot. Oh my gosh. I love these mugs so much. They're just so cute. What do you think? I like that. I just love this fur. I got it last year and I made a pom-pom with it then and it was so cute. Ugh. Alright, well the nice thing about these leg warmers is that unlike the socks, you know, there you had one that had the nice little cuff and one that didn't. But I think we made a pretty decent cuff with that side there. But the leg warmers, on the other hand, are the same when you cut them in half, so they look the same on both sides. Here, let me zoom out a little. Sweet way. So when you cut the leg warmers in half, they look just the same, so you can make 4 all that way. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know down below if you had a favorite out of the ones we made today, and if you're going to make the no-sew or if you're going to make the sewing kind. I hope you have a great day, you guys. See you later.